We're taking you straight to Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
But as I said, we've been busy. In the last day after the horrific murders in Jerusalem, horrible murders, and of course the 4 soldiers that we lost in Gaza. And I want to say a few words about that, first in Hebrew and then in English. אתמול לאחר הפיגוע הרצחני בעזה,
murderous terror attack in Jerusalem, the massacre of our citizens in a bus station in Jerusalem. I stood there, I saw the massacre. I really saw the atrocity from up close. After those 2 events in Gaza and in Jerusalem, I instructed the defense forces to thwart leaders of the Hamas terror organization. And this afternoon, after an operational, unique opportunity had been created to take them out, I instructed together with the Minister of Defense to do so. The ISA, IDF, and Israeli Air Force prepared and carried out this mission in the best, most optimal and accurate way that is impressing the entire world. I am sending my thanks to them and your thanks from both the citizens of Israel and the free world who know that we must combat terrorism for the sake of us all. But I want to say something about the state of Israel. Those days when the heads of terrorism will be immune anywhere are over. I will not let such immunity take place when these people murder our people. Our enemies must know. Our enemies must know one thing, that since the establishment of the State of Israel, Jewish blood will not be spilled. We are in the midst of a campaign to defeat Hamas and to release all of our hostages. After we have delivered great blows to all parts of the axis of evil, and we continue to do so, as well as against Iran itself. And I want to remind you that just a few weeks ago, or several months ago, we removed from over our heads the existential threat of nuclear bombs from Iran. We have had great feats, but we would like to end this war where it began, in Gaza. And this war can end immediately. It can end immediately because we have already taken action. We have received, accepted the principles set out by President Trump for ending the war, including these principles include the immediate release of all of our hostages and the rest of the principles for ending the war which Israel has set forth. And we must remember one thing: the murders that we attacked today are those who initiated, organized, sent, and also celebrated the terrible massacre of October 7th. They celebrated, and by the way, at the same place where we met them today. And I said at the beginning of the war that none of those who carried out the massacre will not be let off. And as the Prime Minister of Israel, I am taking action in order to deliver on my promise, in order to allow the safety of those next generations, and also to settle accounts with the enemy. And I would like everyone to know what it says in the Bible, that we will pursue our enemies and we will not return until they are all gone. And we systematically are doing just that. Together we stand, together we fight, and with God's help, together we will be victorious.
Yesterday, 4 of our soldiers were killed by Hamas terrorists in Gaza, and 6 Israeli civilians were brutally murdered in a bus stop in Jerusalem. This morning, Hamas proudly took credit for both of these actions. At noon today, I convened the heads of Israel's security organizations and authorized a surgical precision strike on the terrorist chiefs of Hamas. These are the same terrorist chiefs who planned, launched, and celebrated the horrific massacres of October 7th, the savage murder of 1,200 people, the beheading of men, the rape and murder of women, the burning of babies, the taking of over 250 hostages, innocent hostages, grandmothers, grandchildren, Holocaust survivors. They perpetrated the worst attack on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. Now, they were meeting in the same place, exactly the same place, where they celebrated this savagery almost 2 years ago. At the beginning of the war, I promised that Israel would reach those who perpetrated this horror. And today, Israel and I have kept that promise. Now, much of the world, including much of the democratic world, or governments at least, have shamefully forgotten October 7th. But I don't forget, and Israel will never forget. Never. There was a time when Jews could be murdered with impunity, but since the founding of the State of Israel, those days are over. On this day, as in previous days, Israel acted wholly independently, and we take full responsibility for this action. And this action can open the door to an end of the war in Gaza. Israel has accepted the proposal put forward by President Trump to end the war, beginning with the immediate release of all our hostages, which have been held in the dungeons of Gaza for 700 days. If President Trump's proposal is accepted, the war can end immediately. We can begin once again to pursue the expansion of peace in our region for the benefit of all. But I want to close by directing my words to the people of Gaza. Don't be derailed by these murderous terrorists, by these killers. They don't care a hoot about you. They live in sumptuous villas. You can't imagine how sumptuous, away from this battle scene. Their partners in Gaza don't worry about you. They go to the underground tunnels and they keep you above ground so you serve as human shields for them. Don't be derailed by these killers. Stand up for your rights and for your future. Make peace with us. Accept President Trump's proposal. Don't worry. You can do it, and we can promise you a different future. But you've got to take these people out of the way. If you do, there is no limit to our common future. Thank you.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Let's just see if he has anything else to say.
Again, praise the hospitality of our host, Mike Huckabee and Janet. I have to say, if we had 5 or 6 more Mike Huckabees, Israel wouldn't have a Hasbara problem. Thank you.
Well, he referenced the killing of 6 people at a bus stop in Jerusalem yesterday and said that after that he ordered the operation, something he described as a surgical precision strike. He said, our enemies must know that since the establishment of the State of Israel, Jewish blood will not be spilled. He said those targeted today initiated, organised and celebrated the massacre of October the 7th, and then went on to say that much of the world have shamefully forgotten October the 7th, but I and Israel won't ever forget. He says Israel acted wholly independently and we take full responsibility.